Tonight on Hunter.
Aren't you a little overdressed for your everyday shootout?
I was trying to figure out why Dr. Bennett still had Martinez's file.
Martinez's daughter is suing the trauma center for malpractice.
I need to see you right away.
She still have a problem with the,
Jan Bennett ingested about 200 milliliters of bourbon just before she died.
Nobody is throwing a blanket over the truth. You're making this up as you go along.
Where's your license to kill, Doctor?
You didn't drive the car over the cliff for her.
Nice shooting.
Yeah, well, the little boy that you shot will probably say the same thing, if he makes it.
It wasn't me.
I saw you pull the trigger, James.
I missed.
What does that mean? You weren't alone?
Ow!
Trauma base, this is RA-47. We are en route. ETA in 5 to 6 minutes.
Copy, RA-47. What are the patient's vital signs at this time?
Vitals are BP is 80 over 60, respiration is 10 and shallow, pulse is 84 and 3.
Copy, RA-47. Is the patient alert and oriented?
Affirmative, trauma base, but be advised, patient has lost a lot of blood, approximately 1,000 cc's.
No problem, man. I got lots more.
Dr. Callister reports ER stat. Dr. Callister reports ER stat.
Aren't you a little overdressed for your everyday shootout?
Yeah, tell me about it. I was on my way to a date in Washington here, decided to rip off the liquor store where I was buying the wine.
Code blue, ER. Code blue, ER.
Don't lose him, Emily. I may have to try and murder one. He just shotgunned a 14-year-old kid and never knew what hit him.
What if the IV line's full?
Let's get him intubated.
Give me another unit of D5W.
Relax. Let us help you.
Call Dr. Dalton. Notify OR.
You got a lot to talk about, James.
You relax too, Sergeant. Don't worry, Dee Dee, her bark's still worse than her bite.
And Bark's bad enough. I'm gonna go check on the kid he shot.
James? James, it's Dr. Bennett. I need blood gases. Type in cross-match for 2 units whole blood.
Blood pressure is no longer palpable.
Prepping for surgery.
Okay, move over here.
It hurts.
Hi, Tom.
14 years old. What's next?
Is he going to make it?
At this point, it could go either way. If it keeps up, we're gonna have to put a pediatrician on full time.
It's got my bed, you remember that? At least it was my bed for about 6 days back in '87.
6 rotten days, as I recall.
Whew, yes.
How's the back?
It's all right. Another one of your success stories.
You're welcome.
Well, don't take all the credit. Jen Bennett really pulled me through that long haul of therapy. You know, she really got me back on my feet. Dr. Rabb, this girl wants to talk to you. What's happening down in the ER? It's so crowded, people backed up all the way down the hall.
They closed the Oak Park Trauma Center, you heard? We're getting all the overflow for everything west of Normandy.
Hi, Dee Dee.
Hey, Elliot, trouble?
A subpoena. That rape case I treated. I'm being asked to testify. Second time in a week. I end up working 36 hours without any sleep, and everything they ask me is sitting right there in the chart.
Where's the mother? I'll see you later, Dee Dee. That back acts up on you. Magic fingers. Trust me.
Yeah.
Dr. Dalton, report to surgery. Dr. Dalton, report to surgery.
I want you to take care of that stab.
Jan!
Hi, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rush right by you. You're Mr. Washington's stable. That bullet just missed his vena cava. You can see him tomorrow.
Great. Wait. Why don't you take a break? It seems to me, call me crazy, but it looks like maybe you need it. Come on, let's get some coffee.
No, rain check. I'm rushing.
Dan, rushing what? Have things not changed?
Oh, yeah, things have definitely changed. Now I'm rushing to things instead of running away from them.
Well, this sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds like maybe a man. So, tell me.
I can't. I've got a bad tachycardia down the hall. At dinner tomorrow.
You're on.
Great.
Hey, McCall. Washington wants to rat out his partner. Let's go.
That's a surprise.
Yeah. Public defender wants to make a deal with us.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't trade a shooter for an accomplice. I do that, I'm laughed right out of the detectives bureau.
Yeah, I know, but the attorney also said the accomplice shot 7 guys in a convenience store.
That's different, but no immunity, okay? Have the DA review the case and then give us his opinion.
Got it.
I'll be right with you. Call homicide.
Dee Dee, it's Jan. I need to see you right away.
Oh, well, what about our dinner tonight?
I can't. We've got a staff party I've got to be at. I completely forgot. Look, could we have a quick talk? It's really important.
Okay, look, I'm going down to the hospital. I'll meet you there at ICU, okay?
I'm off duty. I'm just running some errands. Look, please, can you make a few minutes for me now?
Come on, let's go. Roll it.
Listen, Jan, I can't right now. I'm on to something real important. Listen, call in an hour and let me know where I can reach you, okay?
All right, I'll leave a message.
Okay.
So I hear that you got a break in the Washington case.
Yeah, it looks like it. Captain Jan Bennett's going to phone me. When she does, will you have me beeped?
Sure. Jan Bennett, I remember her. She still have a problem with the,
No, she's great.
Soda and lime.
Thank you. Bye. So glad you come.
Quit avoiding me. We're gonna have to talk sooner or later.
Okay, so maybe you can't appreciate why I have made the decision that I've made, but you've got to understand it was my decision to make.
What you are proposing is irresponsible.
Irresponsible? How can you possibly say that to me? 2 years ago, I was irresponsible. I have worked damn hard to pull my life together since then. I want this.
I have to call the hospital and check on a patient.
Don't you use that line with me. Now, I want to finish what we've started here.
This is neither the time nor the place to resolve anything.
Don't you walk away from me!
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Hey, maybe it's gonna stop raining.
Yeah.
My car ran out of gas. Can you give me a hand? I need to filter out some gas out of your car. Can you back up and thank you.
It's 9:26. We'll be back with more uninterrupted music.
My parents will kill me if I'm not home by 10.
Oh, come on, babe. We got plenty of time.
You know, I heard her calling for help loud and clear.
You thought I could wait, right?
Yes. I didn't think it was that urgent. I don't know. I just thought it was a romantic problem or something.
No, but you didn't drive the car over the cliff for her. I don't want you to start feeling guilty about this, you understand me?
Yeah. What do you got?
The car was approaching the S-curve from the east. No skid marks. From the trajectory, I'd say it was moving slower than 30, but it's a sharp curve, so that's about right.
Any witnesses?
Over there, those two kids. They saw it go over. Have them come back to talk to you.
Thank you. I'm Sergeant McCall. Can you tell me what you saw?
Well, we weren't exactly paying close attention.
I understand. When did you see the car?
Just as it went over the edge there, the headlights lit up our car.
Do you know about what time it was?
It was about 9:30.
You sure about that, 9:30?
No, we had the radio on. The announcer said it was 9:26. My parents had me on a strict curfew. I had to be home by 10.
Yeah, I guess we were a little late.
Donald! Get a cast of these tire tracks as soon as you can.
I'll call it in.
What are you looking for?
Well, I spoke with her yesterday, Emily, and she sounded pretty upset. I just thought there might be something. Did she say anything to you?
She was on top of the world.
Well, she wasn't yesterday. She never even hit the brakes, and she's driven Mulholland hundreds of times.
She used to drive it blind drunk.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking.
Forget it, Dee Dee. She had been sober for months.
Wonder why Jan would have this stuff on her desk. Grocer stands fast, Lockwood Mall stalled by Martinez Grocery. What's that?
Copies of an EKG.
It's Pedro Martinez.
He died of an allergic reaction about 6 months ago.
Well, 6 months ago. Why would Jan have this stuff on her desk now?
Probably the lawsuit. Martinez's daughter is suing the trauma center for malpractice.
So what happened?
He had a heart attack. They gave him lidocaine. Turned out he was allergic to lidocaine, and he went into shock and died. Martinez's daughter claims we had access to that information.
So what do you think? Think she's got a case?
We'll find out in court.
You don't seem too concerned over it.
In this business, Sergeant, having somebody hand you a subpoena is the same as asking for the time of day.
The next step was to order a chest tube. There was additional reason for concern at this time because the patient was not responding to fluid resuscitation, as indicated by his worsening vitals.
Elliot?
Oh, hi. 2 procedures, pericardial tap and the clinical
This
test
looks exactly like what happens here every day.
Yeah.
if you suspect
I was just trying to figure out why Dr. Bennett still had Martinez's file.
In the lawsuit, I assume.
No. We gave everything to the lawyers and gave our depositions over 2 months ago. Now, this was her pet project. I'm just hypothesizing now. But it's possible she was working on a new program, something on allergies. So our staff would be better prepared the next time.
Is there some way to check that out?
Yeah.
As a final step, the team ordered additional fluids. You can now move the decision list forward and backward to see the entire...
I haven't been able to find anything new in here on lidocaine abreactions.
You can continue with further
Let me know if you do.
Yeah.
on how your choices compare to these. The initial rapid assessment began.
Hold it right there.
Drop your gun, Alice, or I'll blow her away. Slowly. Kick it over to me. Great.
Hi, Sergeant Hunter.
Sam Van Kirk. My teacher told me you want to talk to me.
How about over here? Thanks. Now, you're a parking valet, is that right?
Only part-time. Right now, I still have to do some acting to pay the rent.
I see. But you were working last night at the party in the 9100 block of Mulholland.
Yeah. Doctors. Rotten tips.
Remember seeing her?
I got her car for her when she left. She wasn't having a good time.
Why do you say that?
She'd been crying. I mean, it was hard to tell in the rain, but she'd sprung a leak.
Had she been drinking?
You mean, was she drunk? No. I would not have gotten her car if she was. It's company policy. Anyway, I don't think she had been there that long, unless she'd started early.
What time was that?
9/11.
9/11? You seem pretty precise about that.
I was rehearsing for a commercial audition I had today, and I had 15 seconds of coffee, and I had to get it down to 10. So I had my eyes on my watch.
I see. Okay. I'll let you get back to your class. I can talk to you if I need to again, right?
Sure.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, well, you did get the interview, didn't you?
Too short. I hit the copy on the nose, though. Hey, wait a minute. You're a cop. We're doing this police scene over here, and I play this streetwise undercover narc with a guilty conscience and a grudge, and her ex-partner flips out and takes the hostage. Got any tips?
Take him shopping.
You know how it is around here, day in, day out. Thought I was shockproof. Jan. God.
A number of the staff at the party say that you were arguing with her. You want to tell me what that was about?
She asked for a partnership I wasn't prepared to offer. I wasn't very diplomatic in my response. It had been a bad day. I guess I was looking for an opportunity to explode and found it. It's not the way I wanted to remember her.
Do you recall if she'd been drinking or not?
I've always been alert to that kind of thing with Jan. Maybe I upset her more than I thought. Maybe it was me that drove her back to the bottle and over that cliff. Find out, Didi. I don't want to be left with that maybe for the rest of my life.
You know, the tire tracks at the top of the hill match those of Bennett's car. And there's also a second set of tracks up there.
What do tire tracks have to do with anything?
Well, maybe she stopped for somebody.
Maybe she just pulled over because she felt like she had too much to drink.
Captain, I don't buy the drinking angle. No one at that party saw her ingest any alcohol. Now, when would she have done it?
Well, she left the party at about 9:11, went over the cliff at 9:26. That's a 15-minute difference. It only takes about 7.5 to 8 minutes to get to the top of the hill from the party. She probably stopped off, ingested the alcohol, and then went over the edge of the cliff. I found a whiskey bottle where the car went off.
First of all, I don't believe she committed suicide.
Well, neither do I.
And as far as the whiskey bottle you found, I mean, come on, people are throwing junk over cliffs all the time.
I know, but this one had her fingerprints all over it.
I'm having a hard time believing this.
Better believe it.
So, what do you got, Barney?
Jan Bennett ingested about 200 milliliters of bourbon just before she died. Most of it's still in her stomach.
Well, that's, what is that, like half a pint? Take a pretty heavy drinker to down that. How much was left in her blood?
Very little, only 0.04 had been absorbed.
Well, how long would that take?
Yeah, if you belted it, say, 10 minutes. Not enough to get her very drunk. You know, she didn't die instantly. She was unconscious a few minutes after she went over.
All right. So she leaves the party upset. She pulls over. She guzzles half a bottle of booze to give her courage. She punches the car over the cliff. The alcohol is absorbed as she's dying.
Yeah, well, I don't buy that.
You know what I keep thinking about? That second set of tire prints that you found.
Right.
I think she pulled over because she saw someone that she knew.
On the other hand, she might have been very despondent.
Over what? She's 2 months pregnant?
This is a waste of your time, Sergeant, and mine. As I said on the phone, I can't help you.
Well, I think that you can. Look, I have to find out who fathered Jan Bennett's child. I presume she told you that, at least. She was 39. She was a doctor. If you didn't want to test the father's blood for RH compatibility, then she would have.
Yes, but that's in confidence.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter much anymore because she's dead.
I really miss her. She was so happy she was expecting.
She was going to keep the baby?
Oh, absolutely.
Alone?
Yes, I believe so. I believe there was really no choice.
That means the father didn't want to get married. Or he was already married. Which says that we have a man with a very strong motive for murder.
It was an accident.
It was a bizarre accident, and we still have a lot of questions. Dr. Stanton, I suggest you get your attorney on the phone, because I can subpoena your records, and you know what? I think I'm gonna have to do that. Look, we both liked her. Why don't you help me here? Help me find out who killed her.
I don't know the name of the father, but I can give you some help. Blood type, age, medical history. Maybe you can find him.
Good.
Lois, bring me Jan Bennett's file, please. Thank you.
Dr. Rabb to the emergency entrance. Multiple injuries from a tanker fire.
You're gonna be in some pain. ¿Tienes dolor? I'm going to have one of the nurses stitch up the wound. Enfermera. Oh, Emily, get word to the Sherman Oaks burn unit to stand by with their chopper and have one of the RNs stitch up that guy. He's got a superficial laceration.
We don't have any free hands. Ruben called in sick, and the agency is still trying to find somebody who'll come down here.
That is 3 or 4 times this month. I don't think she's sick. I think she's taking private referrals.
Why not? They pay better.
IV therapy report to ER staff.
Anyway, wouldn't you rather go sit beside some big bed in Beverly Hills than fight the wars?
She could at least tell us ahead of time. She knows we're down to a skeleton crew as is.
It's the problem with a skeleton, Elliot. You lose one bone and the whole thing falls apart. Why don't we ever schedule a couple of RNs in reserve?
And pay them with what? I was on the phone today for 2 hours with Medi-Cal trying to find their reimbursement from last July. With Jan gone, this place has turned into a nightmare. I'm sorry, Todd, but I miss her as much as you do. In a different way, perhaps.
Code red, west. Code red, west.
I've said it before. Let's move. Let's go to the west side where more people choke on their expensive dinners than get stabbed for a bottle of Muscatel.
We just can't pull up stakes. We got a contract.
With the survival clause, we're not surviving, Elliot. We're going broke. You know it as well as I do. I don't get it. When are you gonna face facts? We can't keep our doors open here much longer.
Dr. Rab, emergency entrance, stat. Blue crash.
Talk, Todd. There are a lot of options, questions. It's complex. When do you go on?
Now, I guess.
IV therapy, report to ER, stat.
That's preposterous, Dee Dee.
I don't think so. I've got 11 definite correlations. The father has a history of family diabetes, so do you. The father has type O negative blood, so do you. Abdominal surgery in '83, 6'1", medium dark hair, blue eyes. Oh, and I forgot. You also work together.
It's still not a crime. We even liked each other, which is more than I can usually say. Jan was determined to be a single mother. In a way, I was happy about that.
Oh, really? You think your wife was happy about that? When were you going to tell her?
I was going to. I wanted to spend time with the baby first, but I was going to.
What were you waiting for?
Elliot? Gotta take over the rest of my shift.
I'm about to sign up.
I know, but I have something I have to attend to.
The hell you say? I've been on my feet for 39 stinking hours.
I'm going to have to insist. What were you arguing about at the party?
The child. She wanted to keep the child. I told you that. We simply disagreed.
Why do you think she so desperately needed your approval?
Our relationship was like that.
And when you didn't approve?
She was furious. She actually expected me to...
Leave your wife? Was she threatening to tell her?
Something like that. It was all going so fast. It was such a mess.
I guess she didn't leave you too many other options than to kill her.
Forget it. I'm a doctor. I couldn't kill anybody.
I knew her. She was one of the trauma people there. Why ask me?
She's pretty involved in your father's case. She may have been murdered.
I didn't know. You're saying it has something to do with my lawsuit?
Well, it's a possibility. You're pretty avid about avenging your father's death, weren't you?
Legally, in the courts.
He received the standard treatment, didn't he?
But he was allergic to it.
Well, how could they know that?
I told them. I came home. My father was having a heart attack. I called the paramedics, and when they got here, I warned one of them about his condition. For all the good it did, I took that developer Lockwood's last offer, and the sooner I can forget what happened to my father, the better.
Thank you.
Pedro Martinez was a stubborn, foul-mouthed old hombre, but I loved the guy. We got to know each other. I respected him. A good businessman.
His death was kind of convenient for you, wasn't it?
Would have been more convenient had he died 6 years ago. That grocer was the toughest bird I ever faced in a negotiation. When I saw I couldn't beat him, I realized I had to outlive him. Dean, I want to reduce these to an 8x10 for a meeting this afternoon, right?
I don't see you as the patient type, you know.
Negotiating takes time, Sergeant. It's not just a matter of dollars and cents. Take Martinez, for instance. He loved that miserable little fruit stand of his. I could have kept adding zeros to my offer, but it wouldn't have mattered. So I tried to romance him. We'd have lunch. I took him to a ball game. We even went fishing one Saturday off the pier. I actually enjoyed that. But he wouldn't budge. The month before he died, I think his position may have softened just a little.
Just a little bit. So the old man was really throwing a wrench into the whole deal, huh?
Now, there's always a last detail. We're going full bore now. Apartments, offices, parks, 2 department stores, 12 cinemas. We've even got a hospital with the only trauma center in central LA.
Kind of the Pedro Martinez Memorial.
I don't have time for innuendo, okay? And even I can't order up a heart attack. Martinez's time came, that's all.
This is 1 William 56. They'll need search warrants for bank records, credit check, phone logs, for Vincent Lockwood, L-O-C-K-W-O-O-D.
Roger, 56. Sergeant McCall is code 6 at Wilshire Memorial.
Does the word sloppy mean anything to you? I don't care. What the hell were you thinking about? Just watch it from now on, because it isn't gonna be me who's hung out to dry. Comprende?
What does Pedro Martinez have to do with me? Or Jan?
Maybe he was at the root of another argument you were having. The one about what really happened when Martinez was brought into that trauma center.
He died of an allergic reaction.
His daughter claims that she told the paramedic about his condition.
I know, and the paramedic claims that he mentioned it when he brought Martinez in. That's why she's suing the trauma center and everybody else involved.
See, the thing that I don't get is why was Jan so obsessed about Martinez and Lockwood's new downtown trauma center? Who did the paramedic say that he spoke to?
Elliot Rabb. The paramedic says that when he presented Martinez to Rabb, that he mentioned the allergy.
But Rabb says he doesn't remember.
Rabb says it never happened.
How is that possible?
You've seen a critical patient admitted to a trauma center. It's a madhouse. There's blood everywhere. Everyone's talking at once. It's not only possible, it's likely. Dee Dee, believe me, as I see it, nobody is throwing a blanket over the truth.
Really? Well, I think I just found out the truth.
I want you to know, finding a judge to authorize the exhumation of the Martinez body wasn't easy.
Spare me the details.
I found it in the tissue, ergot.
Which is?
It's a drug. Could have been slipped into his food.
Poison?
Not exactly. In large doses, ergot can cause severe chest pains.
Like a heart attack?
Pretty much. He suffered a small thrombosis a few years back. He was primed.
Somebody wanted Martinez in that trauma center. To kill him.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Lane.
No problem. Believe me, if the alternative is having a homicide detective roaming around the office, there's no problem at all. Not that we have anything to hide. I just think our clients would rather we balance their books without a police presence.
I understand. Well, I just have a couple of questions here, and then you can be on your way.
Questions about what?
About one of your clients, Dr. Elliot Rabb.
I'm sorry, Sergeant, but I didn't build a practice by sharing client records with the police. Not without a proper subpoena.
Mr. Lane, I have a sworn duty to uphold the law. Now, if I am forced to get a subpoena, I will have to look at a lot of your financial records. And if I find something that is even the least bit suspicious, even if it's totally unrelated to this case, then I will be forced to notify the IRS.
You wouldn't.
On a bet?
Just what are you looking for?
A connection between Rabb and a Mr. Vincent Lockwood. Let me put it to you this way, Mr. Lane. You can either cooperate with me, you can leave here, clear and free, and have a lovely day. Or I get a subpoena. We meet again in a couple of hours. And I doubt that I'll be in a very good mood. Choice is yours.
Okay, Lockwood and Rab are secret partners. I'll get you the contract. May I use your phone?
Sure.
Here, come in. Look, I'll get right back to you. Sergeant McCall.
Dr. Rapp, been doing a little research on you. Undergraduate degree, USC, UCLA Medical School. It's very impressive.
Well, thank you. I do my best.
There's just one thing that's missing.
Yeah, what's that?
Where's your license to kill, Doctor?
What are you saying?
Found a very interesting deposit in one of your bank accounts. Very large sum. Traced it back to 3 banks and 4 shell corporations to Vincent Lockwood.
I don't know of Vincent Lockwood.
Oh, well, that's strange. Especially considering the fact that he's placed dozens of calls to your home and your office over the last 8 months.
Oh, that must be a mistake.
He needed Martinez dead, didn't he? It was so convenient. He had an allergy that only a doctor could exploit.
That's crazy.
I also know what happened to the money that Vincent Lockwood gave. It was your freedom. Working capital for your own ER. You remember these? I told you I got them out of Jan's office.
What do they prove?
They prove that Martinez wasn't having a heart attack at all, but then again, you knew that, didn't you? That's why you administered the lidocaine. After that, you called in for assistance because you knew that those people would be focused in on only one point at that time, pulling Martinez up and out of the allergic reaction that you caused.
You're never going to prove that.
You also made sure that it was you the paramedic spoke to when he brought Martinez in that day. That way, it was your word against his as to whether or not he told you about the old man's allergy.
Why would I set myself up for a lawsuit?
Because even if you lost, with Lockwood's money, you'd still come out ahead.
You're making this up as you go along. You can't tie me to anything.
Jan Bennett confronted you, didn't she? I know she probably wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt. She pulled over that night because she saw someone she knew. But we traced a second set of tire prints back to your car, Rab. That someone was you. You killed Martinez. Jan knew about it, so you killed her.
Dr. Rapp, please call 2347 Dr. Rapp.
Where do you think you're going?
Friends, thank you very much for this honor and the recognition it represents. You know, when I first came to Los Angeles, I saw a city of vast opportunity. Vast opportunity. A city with a tremendous future. A city with heart and soul. Thank you very, very much. Take care of Hunter.
Hold it.